Hello guys, Softoni here. Today we will be diving into one of the most common requests in visual design, creating a 3D logo in Adobe After Effects. So I'll be showing you the steps to achieve that from start to finish. If you ever wanted to learn how to create an impressive 3D logo that will elevate your brand or project, then you're in the right place. But before we begin, I want to ask for your support. If you find this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more exciting content like this. Your support means a lot to me and helps me continue creating valuable tutorials for you. Now let's jump right in and start creating our 3D logo in After Effects. Alright, we're here in After Effects and I have already created my first composition. Hit Ctrl+N or this little icon here to create a new one. Mine is final here, 30 frames per second, 1920 by 1080, 8 seconds long. Hit OK. And also we will create another composition, hit also Ctrl+N and I will rename it to logo. You can also type your own text and then hit OK. Now, as you can see, I already have my Softoni logo here. Just drag and drop your media here in our full HD logo comp, scale it down or up if you need, like so. Maybe I will leave it to 90% or so. And also now it's time to drag and drop our logo composition here in our final comp, like so. Now go here in Effects and Preset and type Bevel Alpha Effect, Bevel Alpha, drag and drop onto our logo layer, like so. And for edge thickness type here 9, light angle type 0 and light intensity you can play around, but I will type here 0.5. Now as you can see we have this cool logo shape here in our final composition. Okay. Also now it's time to hit P for position and also turn on this 3D layer for this logo composition. If you can't find this 3D icon, just hit here toggle switches and modes and turn on this little icon. Now it's time to also rename this logo to logo 01, and this is really important step to duplicate this logo 1 40 times. For this logo 01, hit Ctrl+D, this is gonna be logo 02, grab those two composition, hit P, and for the Z value, hit for this logo 01, hit here 1, and for this second one, type here 2, for this duplicate once again, type here position 3, and just make sure that each duplicate is larger by one number than the previous one. I will also speed up this part so you don't have to wait. Okay, now as you can see we have all of our 40 logo compositions here, and for the Z position our first one is 1 and all the way up to 40, where is our Z position also 40. Now it's time to hit this first logo 1 and delete this Bevel Alpha effect. Also hit Ctrl+A to choose all of our logo composition, then go right click and find here Pre-Compose. I will rename it to logo plus elements. Just make sure to move all attributes into the new composition and then hit OK. Now in our finals we have this logo plus elements composition. Also it's time to create our background. Hit right click and then go new to create a new solid. We will rename it background. Hit OK and go here in Effects and Preset and find here ramp effect. Drag and drop onto our background, move the background below our logo plus elements, and also it's time to make also a few adjustments here for our background. Hit here on gradient ramp. For this start of ramp go to maybe here, for end of ramp go here, and now you will change the colors according your logo colors. For me it's okay to change maybe blue combination with purple combination, something like this. For this one here, for the second one I will choose blue color, and this is looking really cool for me, for my logo colors for now. Okay, our next step is also to duplicate this logo plus elements, hit Ctrl plus D or go edit and then duplicate. For this second one, hit enter and rename it to shadows. And now it's time to also add a few effects. Type here fill effect, drag and drop onto our shadows. For the color, change to black, of course. And our next effect is going to be radial fast blur. Also drag and drop on our shadows. And for the center, grab this point and maybe to go like here. For the amount, type here 80 or 90 according your needs, but for me maybe 90. This is looking really cool. Also, you can play around with the opacity, hit T. If you want this kind of shadows, just move opacity here close to 0. If you want to see the better our shadows, just leave it at maybe 100 or 90% like so. Alright, our next step is to create here a camera in our final scene. Go right click and then find here camera. Hit OK. Also, we will create our null object, our camera control. Right click, then go new, find here null object. And for this null object, we will rename it to camera control. And also our next step is to parent our camera with our camera control here with this parent and link. If you can't see this one, just go right click, columns, and then you can find here parent and link option. And just do here like so. Okay, now it's time to animate our logo, but before that, just make sure to turn on this continuously rasterizing for our logo plus elements and shadow like this. And our next step is also to hit this little triangle here on our camera 01, go to zoom here, and set up our first keyframe here on our 0 frames, and then go to around 6 seconds or so and type here maybe 1900. And now, as you can see in our finals, we have this cool movement in our final comp. And also our next step is to animate our scale and rotation here on our null object, our camera control. Go to around 1 second and 50 frames, hit S, set up our first keyframe, and then go to around 0 and type here 120. Also hit R for rotation. Just also make sure to turn on this 3D icon for our camera control. And also we will animate our rotation. While you're holding Shift, you can hit U to see all of our keyframes. And set up our first keyframes also here on our 1 second and 15 frames, X, Y, and Z. For the X, type here maybe 45. For the Y, maybe 30. And now in our finals, we have this cool movement of our logo. You can also play around with the numbers, try different one, maybe here 60. For the Y rotation according your needs, also 60. And just also for Z, play around like so. Then choose all of our keyframes for our rotation and scale. And then hit F9 on your keyboard, go to the graph editor and draw a curve like this. And now in our finals, we have this really cool logo animation. Also, what we can do is to go again here in our logo, and instead of 90, maybe leave it to 100. And our logo looks bigger here in our final composition. And when we hit 0, we're getting this really cool animation. Also, if you want, you can readjust our keyframes. Instead of 150, you can go to 2 seconds, just play around until you're satisfied with the final result. Okay, now also what we can do to bring our logo on the highest level is to create another shadows and lights. Go right click, find here adjustment layer. I will rename it just to spotlight, like so. Go here in effects and preset. Also, if you can't find effects and preset, just go Windows and you will find it here, and find here CC spotlight, drag and drop onto our adjustment layer. And also you can play around with the handles like so. I really like this effect. For this intensity, type here 60, edge softness to maybe 100. Also cone angle you can play around. Also height, completely depends on you, like this. And in our finals, when we hit 0, we have these cool shadows here in our finals. Alright, our next step is to create another adjustment layer. Go right click, find here new, find also adjustment layer. We will rename it to light. Go here in the effects and preset and type here light sweep, like so, and drag and drop onto our light layer. For the direction, type here 90 and drag this Y parameter to the center of our composition. Also for the edge thickness and edge intensity, change here to 0. You can play around with the width, maybe to around 90, and also hit T for opacity. We will lower down to maybe around 40% or so. And now in our finals we have this cool light here in our center of our composition. Also what we can do is to create a solid layer. Go right click, find here new, and then create a solid layer. I will rename it star burst, hit OK, move it above our logo layer, and also find here in the effects and preset star burst effect. Drag and drop onto our layer, and also find here fill effect, drag and drop here in our finals. For the scatter, go to around, you can play around, maybe to around 300. For the speed, type 0.2, change color to white. And now, as you can see, we have these cool particles here in our finals. Also type here another effect, roughen edges, drag and drop onto our layer, and also you can play around with the options to get more realistic particles here in our finals. Readjust it a bit more until you're satisfied, and also what we can do is to add a little bit glow for our particles. Go here in the effects and preset, type glow, and drag and drop here in our finals. And now, as you can see, this is looking really cool to me. And when we hit 0, we have this really cool animation in our finals. And for our last step, we can also create another solid layer. Right click, create a solid layer. We'll rename it to grid, and also find here grid effect, drag and drop onto our grid layer, like so. Move our grid layer below our shadows layer, and also for the grid, instead of this corner point, change here to width slider. For width, change here to 20, border to 1, and also we can play around with the blending modes and opacity. Go here, find overlay, and now, as you can see, we have also these cool grid lines here in our finals. Also you can hit T and also lower opacity to around maybe 50% according to your needs. And now when we hit 0, you can also see our cool 3D logo animation. Alright, that was everything for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed this one and found it helpful, I would greatly appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button and consider checking out the other videos on my channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with my latest content and help support me in creating more tutorials like this in the future. I'm always open to feedback and suggestions, so please feel free to leave comments below and let me know what other tutorials or topics you would like to see on my channel. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative and bye bye!